HackOHio is a free 24-hour hackathon that attracts over 800 participants for a full weekend of coding, learning, networking, and innovation. The event is hosted by OHIO, an informal learning program dedicated to fostering tech culture at The Ohio State University. This year, HackOHio is celebrating its 10th anniversary. Started in 2013 with about 100 participants, the event has grown and changed, facing challenges like COVID and expanding to include additional universities and majors. This year, the event is happening on October 8th and 9th. With me are Cal King and Adit Anup from OHIO. Cal is program director of their Informal Learning Program. Adit is a second-year computer science and engineering major, interested in humanitarian engineering, entrepreneurship, and behavioral economics. He is co-lead for HackOHio. Welcome to Enginuity.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
So some of our older listeners out there may still think of a hack or hacker as something bad. I mean, we've seen these traditional movies where the hacker eventually goes to jail.
Yeah.
And so what I want to know is this word, this term of hacking or hack, has really evolved to mean something quite different. And so first, can you share with our listeners this new meaning of hack or hacker? What is a hackathon?
Sure, I'd love to. So I think we could first kind of update that definition of what a hacker is. And to me, a hacker is really somebody who just leverages technology to solve problems creatively as well as build creative solutions. I'd best describe the hackathon event as an invention marathon. So students come in at the beginning of the weekend with an idea, and then over the course of that 24 hours in the weekend, they build that idea out. At the very end of the event, they actually get the opportunity to pitch their ideas to judges, and then they get the opportunity from there to win prizes, additional funding for their projects, and overall just a fun experience as well.
I think one of the things that makes hackathons, specifically our hackathons, really interesting is that we are not just a pitch event. This is about building prototypes and really supporting folks who are going above and beyond to bring big ideas to life in a tangible way, whether that be through hardware or software or some combination of the two. The whole idea is that students get the opportunity to ideate, design, and then demo their projects, all within a 24-hour sort of sprint. So one of the things that we learned from, the COVID experience and taking all of our events 100% digital is that there's some really strong benefits to providing a hybrid model. So this is our second year now where we are offering a hybrid experience to our volunteers as well as our participants. So if you want to come for part of the event and then need to step out but still want to keep building, if you are not able to make it to campus and it's more easily accessible to you to stay home and participate, we have created an event where you can form a team, be a part of a team, go through the judging experience, interact with mentors, sponsors, and your fellow participants fully remote.
Okay, so invention marathon, which I love using that term, and ideate, design, and demo. That is what HackOHio really means.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. So if I think about ideation, designing, as a roboticist, I love the concept of design and coding. And so hackathons are kind of my thing, but do students have to know how to code and build and solder to participate?
No, I really feel like different skill sets ultimately make up the best teams, right? So a lot of people will come up to me and ask like, I really want to participate in the hackathon, but I don't have a computer science background. I don't really know how to code yet. Or even if they do know how to code, they're like, I really don't know how to take this coding knowledge that I have and make that into a full-on project. And what I tell them is that you really don't need to be intimidated. Really, it's ultimately that mindset of I want to come to this event, I want to ideate something, I want to build that idea out further, and I want to be able to share that with other people. As long as you have that mindset, you could really truly be successful.
At Hack, we represent over 55 different majors. This event really is open to everybody. Some of the majors you're going to see are computer science and engineering, electrical, mechanical, data, math, biomedical, chemical, physics, finance, engineering, entrepreneurship, psychology, neuroscience, aeronautical. There's a wide variety of people who participate in this event. Everybody is absolutely welcome. One of the best parts is that you're not doing this alone, right? This is a team effort. Teams are allowed to form before, during, and throughout the entire project. So if you come with a specific skill set, the idea is that you get to partner with other people who might have complementary skill sets in order to, leverage your knowledge and creativity as a group and address these problems, build something really amazing.
So another great thing about our hackathon events is that we were able to attract students not only from the Ohio State University, but also from other local universities as well. In the past couple of years, we've attracted students from Kent State, Bowling Green, Case Western, University of Cincinnati. And in fact, last year, we actually had a student from Belgium participate in our high school I/O event, which I thought was great. We're really going global as well.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So as long as you know how to collaborate, all are welcome.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Okay, so everybody in engineering kind of knows about all-nighters, working on a project, studying for an exam.
Yeah.
Usually not because you want to, it's because you kind of have to. But this is 24 hours you mentioned, and an all-nighter is volunteer. I mean, you actually volunteer and say, okay, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. So how is it that HackOHI attracts so many students to do all-nighters?
So I think really at these events, the focus is on fun. It isn't a super competitive or super cutthroat atmosphere. It's really a fun, uplifting, everybody comes together to build something amazing type of atmosphere. So I really feel like our atmosphere and the environment that we kind of portray is really what makes people want to come stay for the entire 24 hours of the event. Additionally, I think we also have great free food. That's always a great attraction for students.
Always a plus.
Always.
Wonderful food.
And as well, in the past couple of years, we've actually also introduced some wellness activities in our events. So we have a game room set up with an Xbox and PlayStation. So if hackers are getting a little bit burnt out, go take a moment to come and play some games. And we also actually had a yoga event during our last hackathon, which is super fun, something that we haven't done before. But people came down, they did yoga, were able to calm down and then get back to work and really build something amazing as well.
This is nice. So I mentioned that HackOHI attracts a lot of students. So if I think about last year, and I'm teasing up what may be possible this year, how many teams competed last year? Different majors, universities?
Last year, we had almost 600 participants total. Of those, we probably had 65-ish teams. It's a really great experience. We were still sort of coming out of the COVID times and bringing people back into the union for the very first time. It was great to see so many people excited to be in person again, and really still paying very much attention to our health and safety. It was deeply respectful of everyone's individual comfort level. I think that says a lot about our community and how we take care of each other here on campus.
So that's a lot. And that was last year. And this year's, it's a huge deal. It's the 10th year of HackOHI. Okay, so I need to ask then, because again, I want to tease up all the things that are going to come out of this year. What are some of the coolest things, coolest creations that have been created in the past years?
There's been so many really wonderful things. There was one year they asked to bring an entire motorcycle to our Makeathon, which is wonderful. And we encourage people to get excited and do all kinds of wild things. Unfortunately, we could not accommodate space for an entire motorcycle, so they had to kind of just bring in the engine and some of their smaller parts in order to do their exploratory work. But that was awesome. We've also had, several folks who have come in to do software projects that have then built into startups and other, more sustainable projects beyond just the 24-hour hackathon. We had a team that went on to build a startup called Hatchly that was pretty successful for them and helped them launch their long-term careers. And Brian Graham started a business called Tap for Laundry. That was then eventually acquired and is now known as Tap for Service. It's super cool to see folks come in, get creative, want to do wild things like the motorcycle, or Audit can talk a little bit about the folks from Make last year and Hack, who I think brought an entire door, like with a frame and a hinge. Do you remember what they were working on, Audit?
Yeah, I believe it was just, their idea was like, okay, getting to COVID with the mask on and then you're having your hands full, it's really difficult to do, just to even get into the dorm. So that was kind of the problem that they identified. And what they decided to do is that they said, let's create a facial recognition door, kind of like your iPhones and how you unlock that. So what they did is they had this camera module. I think also had some infrared sensors on that as well. And basically all that it took is that as long as you stood in front of the door was able to automatically open and unlock. And actually they had a motor as well. So the door was truly an automatic door, just powered entirely by your face.
Yeah, and what's cool is, that might be a simple solution for those of us who are doing our best to get all the groceries inside in one trip. But this has some really practical applications for folks who might be, disabled, or folks who, need accessibility help. So we're excited to follow up with them and see where they are headed this year with their new project. I also want to mention A-Cubed and let Atik talk a little bit about the amazing work that they're doing.
Sure. So A-Cube Design was headed by Garrett Carter, and they actually started as a group at our HackOHI 2022 event. And what they decided to build and kind of create was a low-cost Braille reader. A Braille reader is basically something that connects to a computer and takes in that output from the computer and outputs it in such a way that those people who are visually impaired can read it with Braille. And typically these readers on the market cost upwards of thousands of dollars, right? You're talking $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. And what this team did is that they took a 3D printer, they printed out some of the components, and they coated it up with a low-cost breadboard, and developed a really low-cost but still fully functional Braille reader. After this, they were able to actually take this creation, and they were able to come to our entrepreneurship-focused event called Show Ohio. And they actually were able to get connected with some of the folks from the President's Buckeye Accelerator program. And they were actually one of the winning teams this past year, winning over $50,000. And it looks like they're really continuing to really build this up, produce this in a mass production setting, and kind of take it to the next level. It's a full-fledged startup.
And so these are, great outcomes showing entrepreneurship or linked to entrepreneurship. Amazing. But is this typical? And if not, what other things can students get out of participating in their experience when they're doing HackOHI?
The best kind of takeaway is that hands-on experience outside of the classroom, right? So in class, sure, you have your class projects and you're able to apply the skills that you learned in those class projects. But this is really kind of the next level, because you're not only taking those skills that you've learned, but you're also collaborating with other people. You're thinking about real-world solutions or real-world problems and how to develop solutions to them. So I really think it's that hands-on experience to real-world problems and being able to apply those skills outside of class directly as well. And then you kind of have that high stress and high reward situation as well, right? So even though you're under a lot of pressure, it's really rewarding as well.
And just to put it out there, the prizes for folks who do submit for judging are excellent. Not everybody is going to walk away and, build the next startup. That's not for everybody, and that's okay. We are not here to make sure that every single person does that. That's not the right path for everybody. But even if you don't, you have the chance to win one of over $10,000 in prizes this year. Yeah, there's lots of reasons to join. The fun, the networking, the one-on-one time you get with industry sponsors.
Right, I can tell a little bit more about the networking aspect. So I was actually able to connect with a recruiter at a Fortune 500 company at this last year's hackathon. And I was able to turn that connection into an internship this past summer. So it was a really good experience for me. And I think these recruiters, it's more than just a career fair, because they know that these students who show up to the hackathons, they're really interested in that next level of building and creating, not just this classwork and schoolwork as well.
Additionally, this year, I am super excited to announce that we are partnering with the Keenan Center for Entrepreneurship to offer anyone who participates and goes through judging at HackOHI the opportunity to participate in the BOSS program, which is the Best of Student Startups. The first place winner at HackOHI will be invited to pitch at the Best of Student Startups finale and gets invited to participate in Boost, which drives teams directly into the Buckeye Accelerator program. This is a great opportunity. It provides 8 weeks or more, depending on, which track you choose, of entrepreneurship support, education, training, mentorship, and the chance to pitch at the President's Buckeye Accelerator program means if you're selected, if you're one of the top 6, you will receive $50,000 to further your venture. That is a meaningful sum of money that can really help launch a startup.
Okay, so over $10,000 in prizes,
Yeah.
a possible job internship from interacting with corporate sponsors and alums, networking, great food,
Yeah.
more than pizza.
Oh, way
Of
more
course.
than pizza.
Lot more.
This is gourmet, I'm telling you.
Win, 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 win. Okay, so you mentioned a little bit about the companies and sponsorship, and you have some big names in corporate sponsors. What draws these companies to support this event, and what sort of presence and involvement do they really have?
Just to name some of our sponsors this year, we have Honda, the AEP Foundation, Viva, Engie, Amazon Web Services, Battelle, Cardinal Health, Aware, and Stevens Capital Management. These corporations are really looking to recruit. So what they get out of it is the opportunity to see students interacting with their technologies and addressing problems that they are actually facing in their everyday careers. It also offers them the opportunity to see sort of the next generation of creators, engage with them, and give them opportunities to come and be a part of their communities as well. So this is not just for our industry partners and not just for our students. This really is a great symbiotic relationship on both sides. Many of these companies have sent back Ohio State alumni to participate in this event, and it is always the best to see folks who we might have seen in the past or see them get excited about seeing people who were once in their shoes building and growing and developing the way that they did too.
So besides this being the 10th year anniversary of HackOHI, there's another big anniversary happening at Ohio State this year. Did I hear that HackOHI might be doing something related to Ohio Stadium's 100th?
Yes, you sure did. So the athletics department is partnering with OHIO to celebrate 100 years of the stadium, which we affectionately call the Shoe. They will be offering a special challenge at Hack, asking teams to imagine the future of tech at the stadium and how we can improve the visitor experience through technology. So I'm super excited to see folks, not just from the College of Engineering, but from the athletics department and anybody who really loves their shoe experience. I want to see what they have to say about how can we make this better? What can we do with tech to improve a wide variety of things? Maybe it's food, maybe it's seating, maybe it's timing, maybe we gamify the whole situation. Maybe we have a game within a game. How much fun would that be? Let's just see what happens, but I'm super excited to be partnering with them and bring a whole new sort of life and excitement to Hack.
There is such a magic between the 10th year anniversary and the 100th year anniversary of Ohio Stadium. 10 cubed, I love it. One of the things about the hackathon, we know it's the marquee event, but OHIO hosts other occasions throughout the year. Adit, you mentioned Show Ohio, for example. So tell me about a few of these.
Sure. So Make Ohio typically occurs in the spring semester, and that's really a hardware-focused Makeathon event. So we typically attract people who are more interested in not only building software, but building stuff out of electric components and sensors, kind of like the door that we talked about before, or otherwise the Braille reader. We also have Show Ohio, so this is where we kind of invite some of our key performers from our Makeathon and Hackathon, and we invite them to kind of share their entrepreneurial visions that they may have for their projects. But this is also open to the entire Ohio State and Buckeye community as well. Apart from that, we have High School I/O, which also happens in the spring. And this is an event that's focused specifically on attracting high schoolers from local Central Ohio communities and kind of introducing them to the world of technology and what a hackathon is, as well as sharing about what Ohio State has to offer in the fields of computer science and engineering.
Some of our other events that we partner with other organizations on are Code.io, which is a middle school program focused on getting young women involved. We partner with ACMW on that. HackOHI, which is obviously partnered with the AI Club here on campus. Climathon, which we partner with the Bird Polar Climate Research Center. Data.io, which is a data-focused data visualization type of hackathon, and these are all hackathons, by the way. We partner with BDAA for Data.io, and the last big one is Biohack, which we partner with BMES on, which is a biomedical-focused hackathon. You guys can get more information about our signature events and all of our partner events at hack.osu.edu.
And you have some social handles?
Of course. So our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook are all at HackOHI.
Oh, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Cal and Adit, Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having us. It's been wonderful.
I'm tempted to enroll in a class just so I can participate in this awesome hackathon. Oh yeah, you laugh, because it's true. I wouldn't do that. But seriously, I can't wait to see what amazing projects and solutions the students, the participants come up with this year. It's going to be an exciting 10th year anniversary. If you like what you heard and are interested in learning more, or suggesting your own topics for Enginuity, be sure to connect with us on Twitter or Facebook at OSU Engineering. Thanks for listening.